All right, welcome to Build 2016. My name is Ryan Becker, and I'm here today to talk to you about the new Bing APIs that we're releasing with the Build conference. And if you take nothing else away from this, but this first thing, go visit Microsoft.com/cognitive and learn more about all the APIs that we're publishing. So with that said, let's jump right in. Today I want to focus on three things. First one is how do you get started? I want to teach you how to get up and running as quickly as possible. Secondly, we're going to talk about some of the new features that we're publishing today. You're probably aware of the API v2 offering that's already out there. And so this is going to be the API v5 offering. We'll talk about a lot of the deltas that we're releasing. And finally, we're going to dive into some of the advanced features that you can explore and take advantage of as a developer. So Satya, in the Build talk he just put out, talked about the Cognitive Services brand. And so I want to share with you how we're part of that offering. And so there's 5 pillars: vision, speech, language, knowledge, and search. And today I'm going to focus on the Bing Spell Check API as well as the Bing Search APIs. And so as a developer, we put a lot of effort into unifying all the APIs across the existing Oxford offering and the Bing API services and pulling these together so you can get access to all of them in a cohesive site. And so first thing you should do is go to Microsoft.com/cognitive. And we put the new site together. You can see all the APIs that are out there. We really want to unify the developer ecosystem to make it easier for you as a developer. So how do you get started, you probably ask? So very easily, go to Get Started for free today. Again, these are all free trials you can go take advantage of. Click on that link and you get sent off to the subscription page. With a couple quick steps, you can sign up. First thing you need is a Microsoft account. Log in with that. Secondly, select the APIs that you're interested in consuming. And so all you have to do, we have 20 or so APIs out there that we're publishing as part of the Build conference. We're always going to be adding more. So select the ones you want. Each one has a different key. And so agree to the terms and then hit subscribe. And so you take those keys and you'll be able to use those to start making API calls right away. So for search APIs, we're committed to making continuous improvements for the API ecosystem. And so the benefit of using the Bing APIs is that it's built exactly on the same stack that Bing.com is running on. And so you're going to continuously get regular feature improvements, updates. We're going to be pushing those out for you as the developer to benefit the ecosystem. Another benefit is you're going to get parity with Bing.com. There's a lot of the relevance improvements, the ranking, all those additional features that we're shipping out there as part of the Bing.com stack will become flowing to you as part of the APIs. So it's a win-win for you. And finally, we're committed to making improvements to these APIs. Like this is something that we're standing behind. We're going to ship updates on a regular basis. Every 6 to 12 months, we're going to have a new version come out. We're going to be very proactive in communicating with the developer ecosystem. And this is going to help you enrich in your own apps and experiences for your customers. So let's take a look at the Bing Search APIs, because that's our focus today. There's 6 APIs that I want to focus on and share some of these features with you. So the stack is, like I said, built on the same Bing.com technology stack. So you get the security of the search engine. The APIs are RESTful, built on schema.org, so they're easy to read and parse. We support JSON as well as JSON LD. So you can use either as you prefer as a developer. And since, like I said, it's built on the Bing.com stack, like this is at scale. Like we have data centers around the world that you will be benefiting from. And you get the same speed, the high performance. And with the offering today, we have a lot of new filters and enhanced features that are coming out that were not previously available with the V2 version. So we're going to talk about what those are, and you can see quickly how to take advantage of those. And last but not least, like I mentioned, we're committed to this ongoing support, and we're really dedicated to making sure this is a sustainable ecosystem for you as a developer. So let's look at the Search API, because that's kind of like the bread and butter, the fundamental API that we're really we want to explore first. And so here's what a sample URL call would look like. It's this common endpoint across all these different APIs that we're offering. So Bing APIs.azure-api.net. You can see we have the v5 version in there, and then you can have your Q parameter, your search parameter. And the key you got a little while ago, you're going to append that as a URL parameter, make your API call, and you're going to get the content and the JSON response. So for this example, we're query for Bill and Melinda Gates. And of course you get your web results. Those are available in V2 today. But we're going to throw in the deep links. These are the most commonly clicked links on the Bing.com search engine once you go to that destination site. So we expose those to help your users complete their tasks more quickly and navigate where they want to go. We're exposed to news answer, image answer, video answer, related searches, and I think the real value add here is the ranking. So every query has different ordering of results, and we now expose that as part of the API for you as well. So some cases an image answer might be relevant, other cases the news answer might be relevant, and that could change on a day-to-day basis, and we now expose that to you as the developer. So what's new in web search? We already talked about the ranking, the deep links. Let's take a quick look at a demo which will highlight some of the differences. We put this tool together for you. You can go to aka.ms/API version parity. So here I did a query for cars, and you can see on the left we have the new results. On the right we have the old API 2.0 results. These are both JSON responses, but we've sort of put a visualization to the output so you can see it a little bit more clearly. On the left you can see the deep links that we just talked about. You can see we get the image answer back. You have news about cars, and you have videos about cars. And in the old result, all you get is the 10 blue links. So that's just one simple example of some of the deltas you get. It's a lot richer output for the web search API. So with that said, the last feature I mentioned, that we also have the adult intent signal. So if users do adult queries, we have a signal that we'll include in the response that says how confident we are that it's actually an adult query if you're trying to filter for that. So again, here's the endpoint you make requests at, and we have that all documented in the documentation as well. So we've already talked about the web search API. But we've also committed to exposing a lot of the vertical search APIs that you find on Bing.com today. And so just like on Bing.com, you have images, videos, news, auto-suggest, and speller. We're exposing each of those verticals for you to consume as well. And you might ask, why would I use this as opposed to the answers that I just got in the web search API? And the answer is there's a lot of additional rich features that we expose that you will be able to take advantage of. The filters, image insights, captions. And so let's take a look at each one of those individually, because you see some of these features come out. So let's start with the image search API, and I think the best way is to dive into a quick demo. And so what I do is I have on the Cognitive Services site here, the same place you go and get your keys, you'll be able to come explore the APIs with these widgets. And so we'll do a quick sample query. Let's do Grand Canyon in this case. So you can see I get back image results as you would expect on the image vertical. But we expose a lot of additional filters and parameters you can take advantage of. And this tool lets you play with each of those parameters and get first-hand experience on what some of the deltas are, some of the features are. So you might want to specify freshness. Is the image a day old, a week old, a month old? We also expose different license types if you want to have a publicly available photo or just something you're allowed to share and use commercially. We also expose different safe search settings or colors if you have want to look for images that are all blue or red. And we have different sizes you can expose as well, an image type. And so you might, for example, want clip art. And so we're filtering down to clip art for you, or line drawings. And this is a quick way to explore and play with the different outputs of the API. So that's image API. You can also come over and see the JSON output if you want to visualize that as well and see what exactly the API response looks like. So with that said, we've talked about the filters, we've talked about the captions, we've talked about, let's actually talk about some of the different segments we have. So some of the images that we output will have specific insights associated with them. So these insights allow you to get deeper information about a given image, and it's based on a lot of machine learning we've done across images. So each image on the response includes an insights token. So you can make another API call to the image vertical, include that API token. We also include the Q parameter because it gives you more relevant, more related results based on, it gives you better related content. So let's take one example. So I took the image, I have a token ID. I'm going to take that token ID and make another API call, and with that, for this particular example, I submitted the image with that token, and I get back some additional insight about that photo. So I know this is a photo of a person, and I've identified it as Satya Nadella. So we now expose this to you as a developer. It opens up a lot of new scenarios that you can do that were not previously available in V2. Another example is visually similar, and for this example, what you do is you have a photo and you want to find other photos that are similar to it. And so we expose that same ability. You get back a list of other thumbnails that are similar to the first one you submitted. And last but not least, one of our more powerful features is merchants and recipes, where for a given image you might say, where do I buy that? And so we will expose a list of retailers that sell that given product to you. Similarly, if it's a picture of food, we've gone through and tagged a number of different sources for where's a recipe you can actually make that food item. And so we now expose that to you as well. Again, not previously available in the 2.0 of the API. So let's talk about video search for a sec. There's some additional features here that we've lit up. First and foremost, I think you'll enjoy seeing some of the motion thumbnails that we've put on the Bing.com site that really drive engagement. And so, for example, I'll look for recipes here, recipe videos, and once that query completes, we expose a multi-motion thumbnail. So I can hover on an image, on a thumbnail, and the preview of that video will play right here for me. And so it really, we found, like I said, drives engagement, and users will stay longer in your experience as they preview the video, and it helps them find the video they're looking for more readily. And we already looked at some of the image parameters. We have similar image parameter, video parameters available. Again, freshness, what resolution of the video you're looking for, how long. If you're looking for TV shows, you might want to specify like a longer length, so you can kind of filter out the shorter content. So again, all these filters you can come here, play with on the site, and get a feel for what's included in the API. We also have trending videos, trending images, and news. We'll talk about that in just a moment, so I'll come back to that feature. So news search, we now allow you to group news by category. And so if you look for top stories, for example, if you wanted to focus top stories specifically on entertainment or politics or health, we allow you to do that with the category parameter as well. So again, you can play with the HTML and JSON. Feel free to come play with us and learn more about the APIs. So auto-suggest is another feature we're exposing, not previously available in V2. Just like on Bing.com, if you start typing cat, for example, you will see the most commonly queried terms that start with the word cat. And so this will help users complete their queries more quickly. And it's really a powerful tool that was not exposed previously as well. So that's auto-suggest. Let me also talk to you about spell check. This is a powerful tool because you can get single terms corrected, or you can pass in blobs of text and get entire paragraphs corrected. And so we have another demo here. So here's an example where it can tell when they used the wrong incorrect there. There's an example where you can identify incorrect parsing of, or incorrect spelling of a given name, Microsoft in this case, using the wrong for. So come here, play with this. It's a great way to sort of see what we're capable of with the service. You can proof, you can spell. Come check this out. There's a lot of new features that were not previously available in the 2.0 version of the API. So with that said, let's look at some of the advanced features. First of all, filtering answers. If you're on the web search vertical, you want to get your algo results, and you also want images, you can focus just on the image answer or the video answer, the news. This is explained in the documentation about how to use that parameter. Pagination, just like on Bing.com, you want to paginate through results. We support that as well. Bolding, so say you type in Bill Gates and you want to use hit highlighting, you want to bold Bill Gates, just kind of highlight where it is in the text description of the results. We can provide that as well. We'll turn that on. You can turn that feature on here. Deep links, we talked about. How do you get the deeper links on a page someone typically clicks on? Query alterations, if someone types Seahawks and you really meant Seahawks, we'll automatically query for what we think the right term is, and that will actually give you a recourse link, so you can actually, the user can go back to the original query they typed in if they really didn't intend for that. But this is really powerful because it helps automatically correct terms that are commonly mistyped or misspelled. And then we also have the adult intent detection. I mentioned that before. If you have an adult term, we will highlight that for you in the response. Trending topics, we support these for news, images, and videos. And these are the exact same things you see on Bing.com. If you see the bar at the bottom of the Bing.com homepage, when you navigate there, we have a bunch of topics we expose, and now we expose these to the developer ecosystem as well. The same exact content. And our documentation, we've put a lot of time into updating MSDN articles. We have the widgets we've been looking at. We have an API reference. And late spring, we'll also have an SDK available for you as well. So with that said, I encourage you to go to Microsoft.com/cognitive. We're really passionate about this ecosystem. We're excited for you to try out the APIs. And you can also reach out to us at partnerwithbing@Microsoft.com. Thanks for listening.